Welcome to the Final Destination, the fourth installment in the series. Let's get to it. We open on our primary group, Nick, Hunt, Lori, and Janet. Four college co-eds taking a study break by casually spectating a NASCAR race the way no one ever does. Like all the other movies, they have some sort of direct contact with everyone that will play a role in the plot.
Well, great. What did I just miss?
They turned left.
Down in front, asshole!
Hey, you earned that. All of these details, of course, lead to a disaster of epic proportions, revealing ample evidence that this movie was both released in the era of just slather some CGI on it, and cheap 3D effects played for shock value as a variety of detritus and disembodied parts fly at us. This was, according to formula, a waking dream. Nick begins to quickly unravel the signs and, since this is a Final Destination movie, makes a scene and causes a huge commotion on the way out, bringing us our unlucky group of doomed individuals. Some, apparently, more doomed than others.
You lost your fucking mind?
This leads to a brief coffee shop moment dedicated to unpacking their emotional baggage, which then leads to none other than a victim's memorial at the Speedway. A slight change in this version is that some people consider Nick a hero for his actions, while others still hold him responsible for not doing more. That night, Nick has a
really bad nightmare.
Full of substandard CGI effects.
This seemed real.
No. In this installment, devoid of any traces of Tony Todd's spiritual guidance or amateur photographers, the plot is completely driven by Nick's visions. He provides a premonition of our racist tow truck driver amping his death metal to 11 as he prepares to partake in his favorite pastime, racist activities. It seems he needs more practice, though.
Oh my god!
The next to get it is a mom who put tampons in her kid's ears back at the race. We get a fairly long sequence of circumstances leading to her death and what feels like a real-time visit to the stylist. And do we really need to work the toes this long? A multitude of dangerous accidents occur around her as she skips through unscathed, only to be taken out by a rock to the eye. Which brings us back to our main group, working out the details of what's happening.
Weird is putting tampons in your kids' ears.
That's actually why we asked you guys to come over.
Tampons? Like the last movie, a simple Google search leads them to Flight 180, allowing them to discover a rough outline of the rules and move the plot forward a little. Nick then has a vision.
I think we can stop it.
How?
Steel rope, of course. They pass by a fence that begs for someone to get pushed through it and try to convince the mechanic of his impending danger. He remains unconvinced, though, being surrounded by dangerous equipment at all times. When that equipment then shows an intent to kill him, he becomes convinced, but just a moment too late as his back gets turned into stew beef. Now in a race against the clock, George and Lori go to save Janet while Nick seeks out Hunt. This adventurous pair are somehow able to triangulate the most probable car wash location in the vicinity of where they expect Janet to be, and blindly drive in through the wrong end. Luckily, they picked correctly and at the right time, because this was happening, and they're able to stop it. Unfortunately for Nick, he only manages to show up right as Hunt's insides are getting pulled to his outside at the bottom of the pool. At least he died doing what he loves. Nick has a quick vision right before the TV tells them that rescue workers pulled another survivor from the rubble. This somehow has death order sequence implications, meaning the whole thing is still on. So he and George race to save the fresh survivor from being next. They fail, and then George is dispatched in short order.
Like God's will.
Nick races to save the girls who are enjoying a 3D movie, as do we all. Janet, unable to continue on, chooses to stay behind. After all,
I was meant to see this movie.
And then she explodes. On the way out, the resulting destruction reveals the meat grinder internal workings of the escalator, which chew Lori up unapologetically. Right as we're on the verge of climax, we find out that this was one of Nick's more detailed, non-CGI dreams, something we don't typically see outside of the opener. As they then restart the cycle, he manages to avert the mall explosion. 2 weeks later, the group finds themselves back at the coffee shop, where it seems as though death has been averted. Until, that is, Nick begins to notice an abundance of signs.
What if we didn't change anything? What if us being here was the plan from the beginning?
Then, by my calculations, you're screwed. What did you miss? Honestly, there's not much to add on these. The films each play out in about the same way. It's mostly just a matter of how they choose to advance the plot. I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching.